Hi everyone, this is Kelly Karski from Barton LaJudas, and today we are going to be doing the second part of a two-part preventive maintenance training for Maximo. Part 1 covered how to create a preventive maintenance schedule in Maximo, how to update or change a existing schedule, and also what the difference is between a fixed and a floating schedule. So today we are going to be focusing on job plan sequencing and also Maximo forecasting capabilities for preventive maintenance. So to start out, we are just going to talk real quick about what job plan sequencing is, and then we'll jump right into Maximo. So here on this screen, you can see just a visual of what some work orders generated in Maximo would look like. So let's pretend these little cards are each representing an individual work order, and these are all written against the same piece of equipment, all based on preventive maintenance schedules. So we've got a monthly preventive maintenance plan that generates work orders each month with those monthly tasks. Every quarter, there's an additional work order generated for that same piece of equipment with different quarterly tasks. And then annually, we have a third work order that will be generated with some annual tasks. So when your preventive maintenance schedules are set up like this with individual preventive maintenance schedules for monthly, quarterly, annual, your system can end up getting a little bogged down with work orders. So the way that Maximo deals with this is with something called job plan sequencing. And this allows you to combine the job plans and put them onto one preventive maintenance schedule, multiple job plans, and sequence through which job plan is on each work order at different fixed intervals of time. So we are going to go through actually creating a monthly, quarterly, annual PM schedule in Maximo that filters or sequences through some different job plans. So I'm going to stop my share for a second and switch over to Maximo and log right in. So I'm logging in as a Washington County user, and we are going to go right into the preventive maintenance application, which you can do from quick links or right here under the preventive maintenance module from the hamburger menu. You can go into this application. So if I click enter, I'll see that there's 217 PM schedules for Washington County currently. If I scroll over, you'll see this column that we added where you can specifically search for PMs in the system that currently have job plan sequencing. So if I select yes, I can see right now there are 23. So there's 23 in here. We're going to create a new one. So I'm going to select this new PM button, and we're going to create one for the digested sludge pumps. Actually, we're going to just do it for digested sludge pump 1 for now. So we will go and find that asset, that pump that we want to write it on. I think in the last training, Tim used this drill down option to find the asset. You can also click select value if you know what it is called and search for it. Digested sludge pump is, I think, what it is. Yep, there it is. So you grab it, and now this PM schedule is written against this pump. If we need any lead time in addition to the 14 days, as Tim talked about in the last training, you can do that right here. Typically, when you write a PM, basic PM with just one job plan, you add the job plan right here under work order information. But when sequencing job plans, all of the job plans are added under this job plan sequence tab. So that's really important. You need to do it right here under this tab. So let's jump there right now. And we want to add the monthly, quarterly, and annual job plans. So you click new row, use the chevrons to the detail menu to get to it, and you can see I pre-created 3 job plans. So we'll talk really briefly about creating the job plans. I'll show you what they look like, but I just pre-created them for this instance. So I'm going to grab the monthly and click new row and grab the quarterly and the annual. So when doing this, you want to make sure to add all of the job plans that you want to cycle through to the same PM schedule. So I'm using one schedule, and I'm going to cycle through a monthly, a quarterly, and an annual job plan. So I have 3. If you had semi-annual every 6 months, you could add that here as well. and that would factor in. So you can add as many as you need. So I've added the job plans to the PM schedule. I now need to tell Maximo what sequence I want it to cycle through. So you do that right here with these sequence fields. So I know that this PM is going to generate a work order every month, and I haven't set that up yet, but you do that right here on this frequency tab. So let's do that actually real quick. So I want a work order to be generated once every single month. So once a month. And we're gonna have it start tomorrow. So the next due date is tomorrow. We're a little late getting this PM in. So we've set it to once every month, starting tomorrow. And now I need to set the sequence. So I know a work order is going to be generated once a month. I want this monthly one to have a sequence of 1. The quarterly, because it's going to be every 3 months or every 3 work orders, we put a 3 in. And the annual, because it's every 12 months or 12 work orders based on that frequency we set, is going to be a 12. So if you had that semi-annual in here, you'd put a 6 in there. And basically, as work orders are generated, Maximo keeps track of which number work order it is being generated. And based on the multiples of these numbers, it'll know which job plan to use. So if it's a 2, that's a multiple of 1, so it's going to use that monthly work order. If it's a 6 right now, if it's the 6th one, the 6th month, it's going to use the quarterly one because that's the 2nd quarter, and it'll use that one. So this is how Maximo cycles through those job plans. So now we have set it up. That's all you have to do. We've got our schedule set. Any basic information here is going to be set. We added our job plans and set the sequence. So we're all good. Our PM is done. We can save it. So coming back to this PM tab, I just want to point out that there is a job plan here shown now. So usually Maximo just shows the first job plan in the sequence, but that it doesn't matter. You don't have to edit anything here. That's all done over here on the job plan sequence tab. So we now need to make sure that this PM is active. It's saved, let's activate it so that work orders will start generating. Maximo does not generate work orders. It does it once a day during the night. So that even though this work order is due tomorrow, which is within 14 days, the work order actually won't be generated till tonight when Maximo checks. So real quick, I want to go look at these job plans and talk about how I set them up. So using this chevrons in the detail menu, you can click go to job plan. And this is the monthly job plan for the sludge pump. And you can see we've got 2 tasks, one to check the amperage and one to check the oil. So it's pretty simple. I didn't put any planned labor or materials, but you can do that as well on the job plan. Plan some labor, materials, or if there's any tools you need. So that's the monthly one. We've got to do those 2 tasks. Now going to the quarterly one, you can see we've got 5 tasks. And the first 2 tasks are those monthly ones, the check amperage, check oil. So it's really important when building the job plans that are going to be sequenced that you include all the tasks that are going to be completed when that work order is generated. So Maximo is not going, when the quarterly work order is generated, Maximo doesn't attach the monthly and the quarterly, it only attaches the quarterly. So if you want the monthly tasks to be done during that quarterly work order, you have to add them as line items or as tasks here on the quarterly job plan as well. So you can see I've added those 2 tasks, and then the next 3 are the quarterly tasks. We've got check the oil level in the bearing house, inspect the pump, inspect the motor. And then finally, we've got our annual one. So jumping over there, again, we've got the 2 monthly tasks, and then the motor, pump, and the bearing house oil. And then we've got an additional 3 tasks for the annual job plan. So when building your job plans that are going to be sequenced, include all of the tasks that you want to be included during that work order, because only one job plan is going to show up on the work order. So going back to that PM schedule that's all set, I am going to jump over to this forecast tab. So Maximo generates a forecast every 2 days. So when you first create a preventive maintenance schedule, there will not be a forecast showing here. If you check back in a day or two, the forecast will show up. You can also go to select action and click generate forecast, and you can tell it how far in the future you want to forecast out. And this is going to load all of the work orders that are projected to be created based on this PM schedule during that time period. So every 2 days when Maximo runs and does this, it forecasts out 1,000 days. We are just going to do like about a year. So I'm going to click OK, and the forecast is really great for checking that you set your job sequencing correctly. So especially if you're sequencing job plans, it's a really great check to make sure that the way that you set up your sequencing is working out. So here I can see it's forecasting out 13 work orders over the next year, a little over a year. So we've got the one due tomorrow, and then the tomorrow next year, it's showing that 13th work order that jumps back to the monthly. So here you can see we set it up correctly because for the next 2 months, we've got the monthly job plan that's going to be on the work order. But then the third month, since it's the first quarter, we're going to have that quarterly job plan. And that continues, that cycle between monthly and quarterly, until the 12th month when we've got the annual job plan coming up. And then it jumps back to the monthly. So the forecast is super helpful in seeing all the work orders or the work that's going to be generated from your PM schedules and get an idea of what's coming. You also have the ability to change the due date of a particular work order right from here if you want to. So say I know my staff is not going to be available tomorrow to get to this work. I can change the due date here to be 3/19. And maybe more likely you're looking out and know that there's going to be some work down here in future months that's going to maybe provide a better opportunity. If like a tank is down, so you want to get some work done while it's down, you could come here and change the date. And once Maximo gets to that work order, it's then going to generate the work order on the date that you change it. But for now, I'm just going to do it right here, and you can add any remark. Staff does not have time tomorrow. So I can then save this forecast, and now when Maximo goes to generate this work order, it's going to look and see that you manually entered a different date for the work order to be generated, and it'll generate it at that date instead of the 15th. So like I said, Maximo checks every night during the night and looks out 14 days. So tonight it would find this work order because the 19th is within 14 days and generate it. We are going to actually just manually generate it for the purpose of this training video. So you can click generate work orders, and you can say a number of days that you want to look out. So I'm just going to say 5, and this is saying like, all right, let's see if there's any work orders due in the next 5 days. If so, let's generate them. So because the 19th is within the next 5 days, it creates this new work order for it, and I can click OK. So now if I jump back to this PM, you'll see the last start date has been updated to March 19th because I changed it from the 15th to the 19th, so that work order was generated. And you'll see the earliest next one is April 19th. So this work order history tab is really nice. And if I click to this work order history tab, I can see that work order that was just generated. So if I go to this work order real quick, I'm going to jump over to it. This is the work order I just created. It's that digested sludge pump. You can see it came in with, it shows the PM that it was generated from and the job plan that's on it. And we've got this target finish date of March 19th, which is what I had just changed in the forecast. If I didn't change it, it would have come up with a target finish of March 15th. You can also, if you want, print. So let's open this DEC work order details report, and sometimes these take a little bit to load, but hopefully it loads and you can see those 2 tasks, the check amperage and check oil, are right here. When the monthly work order generates, you would have all 5 tasks listed here, but they're all coming from one job plan. So this work order details can be pretty nice. Okay, so jumping back, I'm going to go back to preventive maintenance real quick and come back to this forecast. And you'll see that the March work order is no longer here. When the forecast, so this forecast is actually no longer correct, but it hasn't been updated. So I'm going to go ahead and manually delete it. But like I said, every 2 days, Maximo will do this for you. So I'm going to delete it and I'm going to generate it again. And do about a year again. Okay, so now we can see over the next year, we've got now just 11 that are showing up when I did exactly a year, and you'll see that the dates have all updated. So no longer are our work orders due on the 15th of the month, they're now on the 19th of the month because of that change I made. And this has a lot to do with that fixed versus floating schedule that Tim talked about in the last training. We're on a fixed schedule currently. You can see right here we have it checked, so it uses the last work order start date to calculate the next due date. Our start date is the same as our due date, so because of that, these forecasted future work orders all have updated due dates to the 19th. So that's how the forecast works. Additionally, we didn't put any labor or materials on this particular PM schedule on the job plans that were created. But you can see these are the forecasted next due dates and the job plans that are associated with those work orders that will be created. And if we had put any planned labor hours or any materials on that job plan, then this is going to allow you to see in one spot the total cost that is forecasted for those particular work orders, and allows you to plan and manage some resources on a specific preventive maintenance schedule and see how much you are forecasted to spend for that preventive maintenance schedule over the next year. So if you wanted to say, hey, we're spending, a couple $1,000s each year on a particular preventive maintenance schedule, it would show up here. You could click this download button and it would download right to Excel. And it's really nice. So I'll just show you one real quick that has it. We'll look at this digester boiler. This digester boiler has 2 different job plans on it. And if I come to this forecast costs, let's generate this forecast. You can see some of the, oh, this one's in a draft status. Let's open up a different one that's in an active status. Maybe this belt press has some. Yeah, here's a perfect example. So here you can see this belt press has 4 different job plans on it, a monthly, a quarterly, a semi-annual, and an annual. And under forecast costs, you can see how over the next couple of years, it's forecasting the work orders that are planned to come up with their specific job plans. And then this is looking at the planned labor that is on those job plans and forecasting out a cost. So this one right here is probably the semi-annual, and there's a little bit more labor planned for it. There's probably some extra tasks, so it's a little bit more expensive. So if you wanted to be able to track and see how much you're spending per preventive maintenance schedule for particular equipment each year, this is a really good place to come and look at that and see it. So that's pretty much it for job plan sequencing and forecasting in Maximo. They are some great tools that can really up your preventive maintenance game. So if you guys have any questions about these as you begin to set up your own PM schedules and using the forecasting tools, don't hesitate to reach out and ask questions and let us know. We will be posting this video to YouTube. So if you have any questions, you can also comment there, and people can maybe have some discussion, and we'll monitor the comments. So if there's any questions, we'll try to respond there as well. So thanks for watching.